So we're going on Facebook Live now. What? Ready?
I've been saying fish feathers.
There it is.
Oh, I've been watching Charlie the golden. It's this little dogs that have, and he always says, "What the fluff? What the fluff?"
Okay. Hey.
And oh my dog, oh my dog.
By the way, I did officially tell Deb we're not coming back.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
You are a very good man. Did she call you?
She sent me a long text. Actually, sent me a long text back. Very nice too. And I might go over and talk to her. We might, I'd like to keep some advertising going anyway. We need to keep that going. So
that's right. It is time for the K-Ring Community Spotlight Program. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the K-Ring Community Spotlight Program. Oh, look, what is the noise? It's my phone. It's my phone. Hey guys, in the studio today, as every Friday, we have the movie guys. But I should say also that this isn't Randy, but I think everyone figured that
You
out.
look a little like Randy.
A little like Randy?
Yeah, but I mean, the more he works for you, I think the more you become.
We become one. We're just looking
Bonding.
like twins.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that's...
Male bonding.
No, well, yeah, I mean, it's good, but no, I think I sound different, look different. I don't know if he knows more about movies, though.
No,
Yeah,
that's
you guys
true.
laugh.
He makes a point of not going.
That's so funny. You just laugh.
He makes us look smarter, by
Well, yeah,
comparison,
that's
right?
true,
Yeah,
yeah.
because we do know about movies.
Maybe
There
Chris
we
will
go.
show us up.
Oh, yeah, right. I have the iPad. If I show you up in any way, it's because of Google, not because of my knowledge of movies, that's
Well,
for sure.
I lean on them too. I just looked up Jeff Bridges' movies because Andy wrote a great review in
Oh.
today's paper.
It's actually in today's paper.
It is. It's
Oh,
really good.
That's right.
I read it before I came.
There you go.
And if I may, I'd just like to say hello to everybody out there in Radio Land.
Yes, and ditto.
Yes, and in the studio, yes, if you don't know, if you're listening for the first time and you haven't tuned in on a Friday morning, we have the hometown movie guys, Andy McKinney, Tina Terry, and Craig, I always your last name, yeah, help me.
Tripon.
Tripon, there you go, Tripon. I'm always tripping over that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's the way to remember it.
The manager of the
Craig Jack Russell.
Craig
I
Jack
just found
Russell.
out this morning he has 3 Jack Russells.
What?
I swear. I mean,
Yeah.
Don't do that to the listening audience.
We're gonna-
It's a bad plan.
Two of whom try to kill each other on a minutely basis.
We're going to get into some Jack Russell stories a little bit later. He was sharing some
Not me,
with
man.
us
I've
that,
got jowls.
that I don't know if we can, talk about on Community Spotlight, but hey, they were entertaining. Maybe just when we're on Facebook, because we are also live on the KRIM FM Facebook page, so if you want to join us on that.
Hello, Facebook
hello,
hands.
we're waving, saying hi right now to everyone watching and listening on Facebook. So there you go, the bunny ears. They came out. So
Really frisky this morning.
yeah, hey, it's Friday. This is a great day to have this program. Friday.
Kick off the weekend with a good time.
Yeah.
With a very good time. Fridays, is a good day to be frisky. So it's good.
So, Chris, what have you seen lately?
Wow. I have not. I'm trying to think. We did watch a movie the other day. I don't know what it was.
I have the same problem.
I
I have to look at the paper and see what I saw last week.
Yeah, no. I'm trying to think. It's been, and not to be somber, but it's been very sad with the theater being closed. It's sad, and I know for Craig, it's not sad. It's frustrating.
It is gone beyond now. This is just, it's cruel at this point. We've been shut down for 4 months, and at this point, so much of the state is open. You can drive 60 minutes, and there's theaters open you can go to, and everything's fine. And I've just been blocked continuously up here trying to get the theater open. I'm beyond frustrated. This is just insane at this point.
And I think it's blocked by his lordship,
Well, and
whose name we cannot mention.
want to point out that, and really so people know that you've been trying, and making so many different attempts.
I've
And
appealed twice now and denied both times, down to 25% capacity, and they're still telling me no. It's in Gila County, we missed our benchmark again this week, so as of this point, it's looking like the earliest we could be open would be September 10th, I think,
wow.
not next Friday, but the Friday after, so we missed Labor Day too. Just,
Oh my God,
as I said, it's just crazy at this point.
It is.
It's some of these, not just here, but across the state. There's, the big counties are open, and it's just punishing these small businesses, and it's just not right.
And I know what we need to do. That I know Andy and Tina, you've both been saying this when you've been on, is to show our support just like crazy when the theater does open back up.
absolutely. I mean, come, go 5 days a week, go to the matinees, go to the evening show.
Yeah.
Spend the whole day in there seeing movie after movie.
Yeah, and not like, going just from theater to theater.
Oh, no.
Like you used to do before this.
And seriously, you know what? It's a screaming deal.
Yeah.
It's not like down in the valley where, you have to, sort of mortgage your house to go to a movie. I mean, this theater is wonderful.
No, I know.
And I keep getting people who ask me about the classic movies, when can they resume? Of course, we don't know.
Yeah.
But that was such a big and a very friendly group of people. All these people knew each other. It was like this big social event, and people got together and they knew the lines to the movies, and they voted on the next month's movies. And I miss it so much.
You know what? You mentioned too, another way to show support. You had reached out to Walt Blackman.
To your congressmen, to senators, to Ducey, try to get something going there. I mean,
yeah. And I would encourage everyone listening to do that.
Absolutely.
Everyone listening,
It's your government.
Yes, it's our theater. It's your theater.
And
it's
those
your
are
government.
your employees. Let us not forget that in
Yeah.
America we don't have kings or lords, even though they act like them.
Yeah.
We have employees.
Yeah, so reach out and let them know the impact that it's having on our local theater, on our local community, on our community.
And on our brains.
And
when I'm down in the dumps, I like to go to the movie theater and
Yes.
sit there in the dark for 2 hours and watch something like Minions,
Mhm.
and just relax and laugh. Why not?
Oh yeah. Yeah, if you don't laugh at Minions, I think you
I
have
love
a
those little
problem.
guys.
I know. Oh,
I love their
my gosh.
language. They invented that whole language.
Yeah, and Dr. Nefario. Yeah, I think
He does know stuff.
I do. I have children's children's movies. I know I know about that. Yeah. So guys, what?
Have you ever seen Frozen?
Frozen? Oh yeah.
And how many times have you seen Frozen?
Oh,
Countless.
too many.
Too many?
Too many times. But it's something that you must do as a parent, and let it go. Playing in your vehicle, just on repeat, over and over and over. Yeah. Oh boy.
Awesome.
Yeah, it is. So, hey, there were a couple actors you wanted to talk
Well,
about.
Just before he gets into the actors,
Yeah.
and excuse me, I don't mean to interrupt, but I did interrupt.
Yeah.
Just a couple of movies that I've seen this week. Maybe
Oh.
you could even say, just
I don't mean to
promote.
interrupt, but I will.
Yeah, I know. There's a movie on Prime, and it is rentable for $3.99, which is
$3.99.
a screaming deal.
Mm-hmm.
And it's called Mr. Jones,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the biopic, true story of a gentleman from Wales who was a reporter during the 30s,
Mm-hmm.
who went to Russia, and somehow, it's sort of a miracle how he managed to get to the Ukraine. This is during the Stalin's reign.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a very infamous reporter named Walter Durante who worked for the New York Times, or as I like to call them, the New York Slimes. And Walter Durante was a Pulitzer Prize winning pathological liar
Mm-hmm.
who lied about Stalin's starvation of the people in the Ukraine. So this gentleman, Mr. Jones, and that was his last name, Jones. I forget it was a Welsh first name. He actually got to the Ukraine and he documented the starvation. Millions of people were killed by Joseph Stalin because they kept saying, how is Stalin getting all this money to develop his country? Wow, where's the money coming from? Well, it was coming from him going to the Ukraine, stealing all the grain, selling it overseas, and starving his own people. And the Ukraine was, as we may or may not know, the breadbasket of Russia. It was the most fertile. It should have been a place where everybody was really prosperous. And what he did was such an abomination. And Walter Duranty lied about it and covered it up. And so you've got to see this movie. It's called Mr. Jones on Prime, and pay the $3.99 if you want to get together with a bunch of friends. Still $3.99. It's really worth it.
Yeah.
And what Stalin did was he sent his secret police
Yes.
farm by farm,
Yes.
and they took all of the harvest.
Yep.
They took all of the
And
harvest
the animals.
and shipped it off to the cities.
Yep.
And then
And then sold it overseas.
and then when the farmers said, well, what are we going to eat? They said, well, we'll allocate it. And then they put barricades up
Right.
so that nobody could get away,
Right.
and just let them die. About 10 million people.
Yes.
Just
Yeah.
this is in the mid-30s, and this guy Duranty, is that how you say it?
Yeah, Walter Duranty. Oh, I mean,
just absolutely, completely covered it up. It's just horrible.
yeah.
So now,
Harvest of Sorrow
Yes.
is
Yeah, that's a documentary.
Yeah, documentary.
Yeah.
Sounds like a fun movie.
yeah.
Well,
you know,
I like Minions a lot better, but
Yeah.
it's serious business here.
Now, Rotten Tomatoes, how do you feel? Yes, no, hit and miss with Rotten Tomatoes, the ratings.
I never know.
You never know?
He knows.
Yeah.
These guys follow it. I forget about Rotten Tomatoes until they mention it. But
And the only reason I ask is because this movie received a 84% approval rating
Right.
on Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah.
I use Rotten Tomatoes in Metacritic.
Okay.
Metacritic combines critic scores. Rotten Tomatoes though has the more of a consumer one on
Gotcha.
there too, so the general audiences. So they're both good.
They're both good.
Yeah.
there you go.
I tend to give more credence to Rotten Tomatoes. Metacritic, I think, is skewed for the snooty urban reviewers.
Ooh.
And it's critics.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
metrosexuals.
Well,
Yeah.
Is that what you are? You're a movie critic.
Yeah,
Yes.
but he's not snooty or urban. Well, he is snooty, but the right snooty. I like the snooty.
He's a rural snooty.
Yeah, he's a redneck snooty.
Yeah, no, there's a we've spoken often about the culture of Hollywood, and that all of the reviewers that I know of enough to say anything about them come from New York or L.A. One of the big metroplexes, and they're all part of that world. And often they will present a review of a movie from that perspective. They'll kind of well, gee, I wonder what the consensus is among the movie producer community about this thing. And now we have movies that are have made lots of money, like The Wall, that were just horrible, just horrible. So, I tend to give more, as Craig says, to Rotten Tomatoes because it's more of a popular sort of a thing.
Gotcha.
Well, and what we're hearing right now is, I think Disney is experiencing this, and some of the other studios, is to put it in a nutshell, get woke, go broke. They get all PC, the word woke means, you're
Gotcha.
like with it, like the people that Andy was talking about who would
Yeah.
review, you don't care what sex you are or gender you are, everything's PC, everything's, done on this sort of social justice platform. And people are sick of it. People are going, I'm not paying for that.
Yeah.
and good,
Go
you know.
broke.
So get woke, go broke.
Wow, that is a.
I'm happy.
I think, yeah.
I'm happy.
Um,
Let them get back to entertainment.
Hey, Terry Price is watching on the Facebook Live, and Terry Price
Hi,
Terry.
Terry.
did want to ask, and I don't know, I know you can't answer this, but because it depends on when the theater reopens, but she says, what movies are you thinking of showing when you do open again? But since you don't know when that will be,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
you know, we do have. I did go ahead and I booked Unhinged,
Okay.
the Russell Crowe film, and at this
Great.
point, we do have to open with that one.
Okay.
So I will be playing Unhinged, Tenet,
Okay.
you know, the Christopher Nolan film. That would
Mhm.
probably be the other one. I was hoping for New Mutants,
Mhm.
a Disney film there. I'm not sure on that one right now.
Mhm.
So I think it would be Unhinged and Tenet, and that's assuming if it's in hopefully the next couple of weeks.
Yes.
You know, again, I'm powerless on this whole thing. It's
Mhm.
making it more frustrating.
Yeah.
But you out there in Radioland are not.
but
And
those,
you can contact and urge for the opening of our wonderful theater.
I have put in also for a sit down meeting with the Department of Health Services to
Mhm.
talk to them face to face on this, and I'm now I got to wait for this. You know, like I say I've appealed this twice, been denied, and now I'm going for a sit down with them and see what their problem is.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, it's again very frustrating, and so you can't say, you know, what you'll be showing because who knows.
Well, you know,
when that
I call 2020 the year of I don't know.
I don't know.
I
Yeah.
said I don't know more this year than I have the whole rest of my life combined. I think it just, you know, people ask me questions all the time, and it's just I don't know.
Mhm.
I have no control over any of this.
Mm-hmm.
So 2020 can become a swear word.
Yeah.
You know,
it's-
oh, 2020.
Yeah.
Right.
The year of crazy scenarios that we never thought we would.
Yeah.
And so many of the regulations seem unscientific and arbitrary.
Mhm.
And Craig is just stuck. You know, you look at the parking lot at one of the popular big box stores.
Mhm.
It's jammed.
Yeah.
You know, there's a zillion people in there. They're
Mhm.
you know, they're all moving around and everything, but you know, it's just chock full of people.
Yes.
And they don't have any problem, any beef with the state at all.
Mhm.
But Craig is willing to go through all of these very stringent measures,
Mhm.
and they just don't want any part of it.
Yeah.
it's-
Yeah.
And it's you know, it's arbitrary, and it doesn't make any difference in terms of the controlling the virus or flattening the curve.
You know,
Mhm.
and it's not just us. I mean, the bars too. I think are being treated terribly. You know that you can sit next to someone and eat a sandwich, but you can't sit next to them and drink a beer.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know what. You know, where's the difference there?
And besides which,
there's none.
alcohol kills bugs.
Mhm.
You should
Yeah.
sterilize it.
You know, and remember what Benjamin Franklin said: beer is God's way of showing us He loves us.
Ben, wow, he was. Yeah, when you yeah.
He was a guy.
When you read about Ben, man, the more you learn about Ben, it's like, wow, Ben, really? Huh.
Yeah.
I appreciate Ben because when he was my age, he was still captivating, lovely young ladies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He was a rake.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
was.
Couldn't
He
be
was a
they
ladies' man.
a ladies' man. Yeah.
They seem to
wow.
like him.
They seem to
it's
like
hard
him.
to imagine.
Yeah, and
No, it's not.
you know they intentionally would keep secrets from Ben because he had some loose lips there when he was with the ladies as well.
Yeah.
So that's
Loose
not
lips
good.
sink ships.
But
Yeah.
remember, he was the one who was asked
Uh-huh.
on his way out of, after they'd signed the Constitution.
Uh-huh.
A lady comes up to him and says, "Oh, Mr. Franklin, what form of government have you given us?" And he said, "A republic, if you can keep it."
Mm. Yeah, there we
And
go.
he'd read, you know, history of Rome,
Mhm.
Greece. I mean, they were, the founding fathers were such historians. They
Mhm.
knew
Mhm.
that, you know, yeah, we're going to make a republic, but it's not by human nature necessarily to keep a
Mhm.
republic.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Any movie biographies of Franklin?
I don't know. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there another movie you had, Mr. Jones,
Oh,
that you have recommended?
Yes.
to people?
Remember you interrupted me.
Yes, and then there's one other one that's on Netflix
Yeah.
called The Last Witness,
Oh.
which is another true biopic about a massacre, again by Stalin,
Mhm.
of 25,000 Poles. and it was covered up by the British government, covered up by the American government. This was after the war. They blamed it on the Nazis, but it was really the
How can you
Russians.
watch this stuff right now? It's just,
I don't know. You
the
know,
whole world's so
I'm not-
terrible. It's
I'm
like,
also
how
watching,
do you-
watching
Minions.
Minions.
The Minions.
Yeah,
So-
but I'm watching some documentaries and comedies. But I like historical stuff. I really
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
Well, and to balance it out, what would be a good movie right now? Maybe even bring up Hulu or something, and
Sure.
to
Well,
balance it out.
Yeah, well, this morning I watched Aaron Flux.
Mhm.
Short,
Aeon Flux.
Aeon Flux.
Yeah,
Aeon
yeah, you
Flux.
wanted to mention Charlize. And
Yeah.
she is a good actress. She's wonderful.
Mhm.
yeah, I don't care about that. She spends I want something that'll elevate our spirits.
She's a babe. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is from 15 years ago,
Right.
2005. It's a science fiction movie. You've seen it, haven't you, right?
Yeah.
Aeon Flux. Yeah.
Yeah, a science fiction movie based on, I believe, an anime comic book. And they distorted the original story so that it's not as impactful in terms of its storyline.
Mhm.
But the main thing, I remember seeing this years ago, and I watched it again this morning. The main thing that you take away from this is how fabulous Charlize Theron looks in spandex.
Oh,
She
yeah.
spends the whole movie in wearing a suit of clothing that looks like it was painted on with spray paint.
Yeah.
It's a terrific movie, terrific. It has people are talking and stuff, and you know,
There's lines.
Yeah, stuff's going
stuff
on,
going
but-
on,
Yeah.
but- but that's not important.
No, and so you asked me earlier about movies I had seen recently,
And you couldn't come up with
and I
one.
couldn't come up with one, but I pulled up Hulu because to jog my memory, and there were two movies that I have watched recently. One, do you guys you talk about movies that you thought also were horrible, right? Like that just
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
deliciously horrible?
Or
this
just
was-
horrible.
Well, and I don't know if you saw this one, but The Assistant.
I believe I've seen that, but who's in that?
It
Long
is.
time ago.
Pulling it up. Let me see. Trailer details. Can't see, but it doesn't say. But The Assistant. It's from this year or last year, 2019 or 2020. But that is one that I definitely would not recommend. The Assistant. It sounded good. The trailer looked really good. You know, a person that's hired for this company, she's an assistant, to this person that seems to be involved in some shady things, and you're thinking, is she going to get the goods on them, and what's going to happen? And then it just ends. It just
So
ends.
is it one of those? My husband has it's a really cool criteria. He says, we watched the trailer, and he says, okay, I've seen the movie because they put everything in the trailer that was worthwhile, and the rest of the movie sucks. And that we often find that to be true.
It was a little bit like that, yes, where
Right.
everything
Just
was.
watch the trailer, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you were just, I know my wife and I were just left wanting more. We're like, okay, wait, that's the end?
Was it built for a sequel, do you think?
It better not be.
Enough already.
Yeah. And then, let me see, I can't find the other one, but one I did see recently, the second Jumanji, which
Oh, that's
was a
wonderful.
really fun movie.
I love that. Now that would be a fun movie to see.
Yeah. Have you seen that one yet?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, we saw that in the
about 11
theater.
times I've seen
Yeah.
it.
11
It's on
times.
it's on TV all the
We,
time.
we loved it.
Yeah.
Well, we like The Rock.
Yeah, we love
I
it.
mean, at our
But I like
at my
Jack
house.
and Jack Black. I love Jack Black. He is hysterical.
Meh.
Yeah,
Oh, stop.
no. So what's the consensus here with the movie, guys? Jack Black, thumbs up, thumbs down, or
I'm
in the
thumbs
middle?
up.
Meh.
I'm
The
thumbs
middle.
up.
And how about you, Craig? We need to see Jack Black.
Jack Black?
Oh, down, middle.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs
So
up.
2 thumbs up and a
Yeah,
and.
I just
in the
I
middle.
can't quite forgive him for being miscast in King Kong.
Okay.
Which I mercifully didn't see, so that's fine.
Yeah, that that's unfortunate.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, and King Kong, the Jack Black version of it, did have probably what is the greatest dinosaur stampede ever.
Uh-huh.
So that was really cool. But he was, he should stick to comedies. He was brilliant in School of Rock.
Mhm.
As
Oh,
an
yeah.
as an example. But
Right.
No, and also in the King Kong with Jack Black, the natives in that movie. Remember when they went to Skull Island
Mhm.
and the natives? They were creepy.
But that was a weird one for him. That was kind of an off-putting
Yeah.
for Jack Black. The serious role like that. And,
Yeah, he shouldn't do serious roles.
No,
I do get with Jack Black too. He is kind of a. He does seem to be one you either like him or you don't like him.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he was in Tropic Thunder.
Yes.
Oh.
Love Tropic
Can we
Thunder.
just stop and
Great
say what a
role.
wonderful movie it
Tropic
is?
Thunder? Yeah.
Oh my gosh. With who is it in blackface? Robert Downey Jr.
Pretending Jr.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I mean, you couldn't make that movie now.
No.
The studio would be bombed.
And
Ben
Tom, what's his name?
Ben Stiller.
Ben Stiller.
Ben Stiller.
Yeah, great.
Matthew McConaughey was in that.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember him.
What
Yeah,
a,
yeah,
what
this
a
is
great
it,
movie it was.
Oh, and Tom Cruise.
Yeah, Tom Cruise
Tom
was
Cruise is
as a movie producer, and
Yeah.
boy, did they send up the movie producers.
Oh man, it was really good. Yeah.
Well, you don't even recognize Tom Cruise.
No.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Hey, just a real quick one.
Yeah.
I got a message from the Department of Health Services. We have our meeting set up for Monday at 12:15.
There we go.
So I don't know
if that's
excellent.
gonna-
I don't know
Do
if
you
that's
need
gonna.
a you need a rent a mob out there?
Go, Craig,
Yeah,
go.
I don't know if that's going to do anything or not, but at least it's
So
a step.
we start making our signs open sawmill.
Yeah.
Open sawmill. Let sawmill
Of course, it's a video conference. So
Right.
Yeah.
we can put everyone in the background.
Let my movies go.
Here we go.
Well, hey, you know what? It is right at the 10:30 mark. So let's hear what the weather's going to be like for today
It's gonna be
and
hot.
this weekend. Hopefully some cooler weather coming soon. But here it is time for our weather forecast brought to you by the National Weather Service. And we're going to be getting back to music on the air here. But if you'd like to continue to listen and hear what we have to talk about with the movie guys, you can go to the KRIM FM Facebook page, and we have some people on there watching. You can join in, and we'll also be making it a little interactive, try and ask you guys some questions and get some feedback from you as well. But again, right now it is
Did you
time
ever see Be
for the
Kind to
weather.
Rewind?
Now, this morning's Kansas
It's a
weather forecast
wonderful
for
movie.
Payson
That's
and
Jeff
surrounding
Black.
areas.
Right.
I'm nowcast meteorologist Jim Bond.
Yeah, I don't know. This it says it's a
Mostly sunny
10-minute
skies,
meeting.
will be hot.
Do I know?
It's a 10-minute meeting.
10 minutes.
That's all your overlords are
I guess
allowed,
yes.
right?
Apparently that's what we're worth is 10 minutes of their time.
Well, maybe when all of you guys are standing outside with sawmill, sawmill, sawmill,
Free
the
the
signs,
sawmill, free the sawmill.
free the sawmill, they'll change that and it'll be more than a 10-minute.
Sawmill lives matter.
Sawmill movies matter. Yeah, sawmill lives matter.
I really
gosh.
don't know what they're doing. It's just
Well,
it's insane.
it is at least you have an opportunity to talk to them and see.
You have to see Be Kind to
So,
Rewind. Back in the day,
And
Getting back to Aaron Flux,
yeah,
the director of that was a lady, Karen Kusuma, something like that, and which is very surprising because of the texture of the film is dominated by shots that would appeal to men of the lead actress in spandex. And it turns out that she also did, and this also is kind of shocking, she did Jennifer's Body, one of the great zombie movies of all
Really?
time.
She did?
Wow.
Oh,
Huh.
yeah.
with Megan Fox as Jennifer.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the setup on that one is there's a punk rock band that sells their souls to the devil to improve their
Popularity,
their
career,
career,
yeah.
and they need to sacrifice a virgin to the devil in order to seal the pact.
Yeah,
Well,
of
they
course.
they sacrificed Jennifer, but they're about. They should have called her in middle school sometime. She's did not qualify for the sacrifice.
Oh,
By a long ways.
golly. It's like, throw that one back.
Oh,
You
Yeah.
know?
yeah.
No.
So that caused all kinds of cosmic upset,
Yeah,
and she ends up. I count it as a zombie movie because she's dead and she's walking around, right?
yeah, zombie.
Zombie.
Yeah.
But this is a demonic possession zombie movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
And what she does is, and I don't know. If you ever,
The lines blur there.
I know.
You know, they always blur.
Yeah.
Think about the nature of zombies.
Yeah, I know.
and this is might be a stretch, but Megan Fox or Jennifer is absolutely stunningly beautiful, and somehow she manages to lure teenage boys into isolated spots.
Somehow? Just somehow. Weird. Weird.
And
So-
then they fall for it. Each one only falls for it once.
Yeah.
Because she's a demon and devours them. But
She's still a beautiful, like, zombie, even as a
oh
zombie.
no, she's
Or
and that's why she has to keep
demon?
devouring people is
Oh.
to keep up her
Maintain her beauty.
that's right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like was that Bothy, a Czech
So,
baroness
huh.
in the mid 1600s.
Yeah, Bathy or Bathy.
Yeah, something. Yeah, and she would murder young women and bathe in their blood. To that's historical.
Beauty treatment. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
I don't have any reports on how successful the treatment was, but it was pretty nasty.
No, that doesn't sound
Well, if
good.
we're talking about Charlize, one of my favorite movies that she's in, and it was really early in her career, is The Devil's Advocate with
Mhm.
Al Pacino playing the devil.
Oh yeah.
And Keanu Reeves playing a lawyer, and of course Al Pacino is a lawyer who is the devil.
Yeah.
And there is Charlize Theron she's extraordinary in that movie.
And she is she Keanu's wife?
Yes, and
Yeah.
they
In
move
the
to New
movie.
York.
In
You
the
know,
movie,
they're
yeah.
lured to New York by Al Pacino
Yeah.
with the promise of all kinds of perks.
He's climbing the company ladder,
Yes,
and they're
yes.
from a rural community.
And
just a-
Pacino is
yeah.
so amazing. I mean, if you want a movie that really gives you, I think, a very realistic portrait of Satan and sort of satanic
Temptation.
shenanigans,
Mhm.
right? If you hearken back to C.S. Lewis's book, The Screwtape Letters,
Mhm.
where one demon is writing to the other demon about how to snare
Mhm.
humanity, The Devil's Advocate has a lot of those things. It's a very moral movie.
Mhm.
And Al Pacino is so great because he says, vanity is
Mhm.
my favorite vice.
Mhm.
Because it's so easy to, to compliment people, appeal to people, and just pull them right in.
Mm.
I just recently saw that movie again.
I need to watch that
Oh
again.
man, that's one of my top 10.
That is a good one.
Yeah, it's really good.
Atomic Blonde.
Atomic
Oh,
Blonde.
man, was
yeah.
that good.
Yeah, yeah.
Atomic
Ooh.
Blonde.
Yeah.
Charlize
Yeah.
Theron again. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing another one. They're doing a second one of that.
Good.
Really?
Yeah, as good as Atomic Blonde was, Aaron Flux was bad.
Oh, really?
So that's a kind of to
Yeah,
balance
yeah,
So
out.
it's Aeon. It's
Aeon.
Aeon, right? Noah.
Yeah, Aeon.
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 Flux. Yeah.
But Atomic Blonde was just great, and boy,
Yeah.
they sure fooled me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a big twist at the
Yeah, it
end.
was like
It's
a
great.
double agent or
Yeah, quadruple
a
agent.
triple agent or yeah, exactly. Like,
Mm.
still not.
You know, I don't know if you guys saw Miss November. Boy, is that a wonderful and heartbreaking movie.
Yeah.
Miss November.
Charlize Theron plays a pretty girl in New York, in San Francisco, and she meets a fella, and I think it's Keanu Reeves again,
Mhm.
and they have a very satisfactory and pleasant interlude, and then she has we find out she's got terminal cancer, and she spent her last month restoring Keanu Reeves' soul, so to speak. He was in a very bad place, and she helped him.
Wow.
And then she died kind of a reverse Black Widow.
From Prometheus.
I thought that was terrible. I thought she was great.
Oh, she was a great.
It's a great cast,
I think
too.
the word you can either is bitch. She was just a terrible person in the movie.
Yeah.
But she plays as well.
Yeah, but a great cast again.
So here's a list, and wow,
Bad movie though.
that thing you do.
Yes.
She was in That Thing You Do.
She did. She was.
Tina Powers in That Thing You Do.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that movie.
1996. Yeah.
Wow.
Another one, Mighty Joe
Tom
Hill.
Hanks.
Oh, yeah.
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 That wasn't so good. She was. I mean,
Yeah.
she was fun to watch, but the movie wasn't much.
Yeah.
But
And
that thing.
Tom Hanks in The
yeah,
Thing You Do.
That
yeah.
Thing You Do was just a
Bad Max.
great movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fury Road.
Mhm.
Yeah, she was in Fury Road.
Fury Road?
Furiosa or something like her name was.
Mhm.
Let's
Great
see. Fury Road.
Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah, the Mad
Yes.
Max. The Mad
yes.
Max movie.
The Mad
Yeah.
Max.
Imperator Furiosa or Furiosa. Furiosa.
Yeah, she
Furiosa.
played that with one arm too.
Yeah, she got her arm snipped off.
What was another one you saw here? The Astronaut's Wife.
Yes.
That was
Johnny,
kind of a.
Johnny Depp.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
an oddball movie.
That was good.
And The Cider
was
House
really good.
Rules.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's just a wonderful
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Men of Honor.
Reindeer Games.
Reindeer
which
Games.
is good with Ben Affleck. That was,
yeah.
that was really, really good. Yeah.
The Legend of Bagger Vance.
Yes, it's a
Oh,
wonderful movie.
Yeah.
It's a very sort of philosophical, thoughtful movie.
I thought it was
Oh, yeah.
dull. Okay,
Well,
okay.
You probably didn't like Barry Lyndon either.
Probably not.
You're a terrible critic.
Okay.
I'll criticize you.
Critical critic.
Quiz me this, Batman. How many gas stations were blown to shreds in Bagger Vance?
What, gas stations?
Yes. How many? Oh, zero. Zero gas
There
stations.
were
were-
gas stations blown up.
No, there was no gas
Explosion
station.
movie.
There was no
Wow.
explosions in Bagger Vance. Not a one.
How many,
That was
how many
a-
zombies were in
Tina was right. It was a very philosophical.
I loved it.
really
It's
deep
very
movie.
thoughtful.
You know, I come from the Joe Bob Briggs school of movie critics. Joe Bob Briggs used to have a movie TV show
Joe
on
Bob, yeah.
on Saturday nights,
Uh-huh.
and he would rate by how many explosions there were.
Gotcha. And so, how about Snow White and the
The
Huntsman?
Huntsman.
The
Oh, the Huntsman.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
So there was another
Right?
bad person. She plays that.
Yeah,
she plays that evil role
Queen.
really good.
Yeah, she did really well.
Well, that was-
I mean, and she is all even in the movies that I don't like so much. She's always good, and you're right. She was just
Like I said, that one.
really
The
creepily-
Italian job.
Prometheus. She was
evil.
just
Yeah.
Prometheus. She was just a terrible person.
The Italian Job.
Oh, wonderful movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And a remake of a wonderful movie.
Yes, the original was good, and the
1963, I think it was, and it was great.
and the remake was
Yeah.
also just great.
Yeah,
And the cast there. Oh my gosh. Mark Wahlberg,
Right.
Charlize Theron,
right.
Edward Norton, Seth
Yes.
Green, Jason Statham,
Mhm.
Oh, who I
Donald
love.
Sutherland.
Can we just stop for a moment, because you guys are all drooling over Charlize. I love
Andy
Jason
was
Statham.
Andy with the spandex.
Yeah, Jason Statham, I watch almost everything he's in. He's always good.
I just watched him in a movie called Safe,
I think I saw that, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. It was
where
good.
it's where he's
Yeah.
he's like down and out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And this is
He's amazing.
kind of an interesting concept. In Safe, Jason Statham
Mhm.
works for the mayor of New York, killing bad guys, and he just goes around and snuffs like drug lords and stuff like that. He just does it all the time, and they blame it on inter gang violence.
Yeah.
Well, that's convenient.
Yeah,
Just,
sure, yeah.
hey, here you go. Must
Yeah,
was a
naturally.
a gang war.
Yeah, naturally, it spins out of control. You can't have stuff like that going on.
Yeah. But Jason Statham is wonderful. He really is.
Yeah, this was one.
He's also a very accomplished martial artist.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
wow. And what was the movie with him? Was it him and The Rock, or was it where there are two
Hobbs and-
spies? Hobbs and
Hobbs and Shaw.
Hobbs and
Hobbs and
Shaw.
Shaw, yeah.
Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that Fast and
Yeah.
Furious spinoff.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty stupid too, but it was fun to watch.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Explosions.
They put they put a cable on a helicopter and then pull it down.
Yeah,
And
well,
the
I mean, you
whole
say
scene was
stupid. You like
ridiculous.
Stargate. We have to stop right there.
I do like Stargate.
Oh, yes, man. I love Stargate.
Stargate?
I think that's one of the worst movies ever made.
I like Stargate.
That's my opinion.
Really? Oh, Stargate was good.
Stargate? Yeah. Yeah.
It was so
And the
weird.
series was pretty fun too.
Oh, gagged me with a forklift. It was so bad.
Oh, my
Did it make
goodness.
you think? I mean, about maybe that's what happened.
No, it didn't make me think. It made me jeer.
You know, another movie that makes you think. If you think of the opening, 10 minutes or so of The Fifth Element,
Oh,
when
yeah.
they're in Egypt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Now that makes you think.
That is a good movie. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you're okay with Fifth Element, but
Well,
Not
you know,
Stargate.
go figure. I mean, really. You know. I know.
Inconsistency is the.
The bugaboo of tiny minds.
Yes, there you are.
Could it be,
Or is it consistency? No, it's consistency.
No, not in your case.
No, not my
do
case.
you think though the actors make a difference? So if you have a movie that it's just nonsense, just
Yeah.
total nonsense, and you know
Yeah.
it's absurd, but if the actors, because Fifth Element, Bruce Willis, so
Yes.
Bruce Willis in
yes.
there.
And what's her name?
Mia Jovovich.
Jojo.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, she is amazing.
Yeah, she's like,
She's
whoa,
extraordinary.
she's
Yeah.
captivating. Just
Yes.
like, so does that help or maybe make a difference in,
Sure.
Well, it made a difference between you have Mila Jovovich and you have Bruce Willis
Mhm.
in The Fifth Element, which makes
And
it great.
Stargate.
And
you
Stargate, you have weird people, and well, you have Kurt Russell, but you have this kind of, male-female thing. I don't know if it's, remember the deity?
Oh,
Come on, you love this movie. You got to remember stuff.
In 1984, a little
Yeah.
It's a long
bit
time ago,
older.
yeah.
Kurt Russell,
Yeah.
James Spader.
Yeah, James Spader. Now I love James Spader. He's
Mhm.
great. Yeah,
Hmm.
but
good movie.
It's a good-
I recently saw it, and it confirmed my opinion that it really stank.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
but it's by your favorite movie director,
What? Who?
The Fifth Element.
Oh, The Fifth Element. Yeah, is Bresson.
That's right,
Jean-Luc
Jean-Luc.
Bresson.
There we go. Always depend on you for the French.
I love Jean-Luc. Yeah.
Yeah, I do
He
too.
also didn't he do Leon the?
Yes.
Yes, the professional. Well, another one of my favorites.
Yep. And
Yeah.
he did
Jean Reno.
he did the shoot 'em up about the girl that they train.
Oh, Nikita.
Nikita,
Nikita.
little, yeah.
But the original-
La petite Nikita.
Yeah, but the original La Femme Nikita was French, and
Yeah.
man, that's a great movie.
mm.
Yeah,
Brutal though.
yeah, yeah.
I was just looking up Fifth Element, a review it got from Roger Ebert.
Oh, okay, there we
Oh,
go.
I like
3 stars,
Yeah.
but it doesn't show. It just shows 3 stars. It's not like
Yeah.
3 out of 5 or.
Oh, it'd be 3 out of
It'd be
5.
It would be 3 out of
Yeah.
5.
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah.
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 Huh.
Yeah, no, it's 5 for me. I gave it 5.
It's a fun movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes 70 to 86. Gives it a very favorable rating.
Okay.
Average audience score 86%.
Yay!
Well, I love Bruce. Bruce is good. Bruce is in anything he does. I love Bruce.
Mhm.
And he's another one of those who is not as left wing in
Mhm.
Hollywood.
Mhm.
He's quite a guy.
Okay, and you remember the guy that floats by? He's the Chinese delivery guy.
Oh, yes.
Okay, his name's Hong. I can't remember his
Is
first
it
name.
James Lee Hong?
Yeah.
James Hong?
Yeah, James Hong.
James Hong,
James
yeah.
Hong. He's still making movies. He was in the one I mentioned with Statham, Safe.
Yeah.
He plays a gangster in that, and he's got to be almost 90.
Yeah.
And he's still in movies.
Yeah.
And he's so old that we've seen him in a million movies, and it's
Oh,
fun.
he's great.
Yeah.
And who was that? The actor?
James
Hong,
Hong,
I
I
believe.
think. It's H-O-N-G.
Chinese.
Gotcha. Wow. Huh.
Is he there? Is he there?
I'm looking. I see a.
James Hong.
Who was it? Kim Chan. Mr. Kim. Let's see.
No,
But,
maybe
yeah.
it's Kim Chan. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know. I don't know.
You're not supposed to be politically incorrect and say
Hey.
everybody from that one ethnic persuasion looks alike. You can't say that.
No.
And you know they don't.
The fifth element focus, but yeah, it's how that's something, and you guys do, right there.
James Hong. Oh yeah.
Yep, that's him.
He was in Chinatown.
He was?
Big Trouble in Little China.
Yes, and Big Trouble in Little China. Yes.
Oh,
Oh, that's right.
Oh, man, he
Wasn't
was
wasn't
so
he the
great.
emperor?
Yeah, he was
Yes, he was the emperor.
Yeah. I just saw Big Trouble not too long ago, and it's really cool. It's a
Yeah.
great movie.
Oh, we saw it in the theater. Remember, we
Yes.
saw it, but when the theater was welcoming us.
Yes,
As
when
a
it was our
Willie Gill.
friend.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was good. Big Trouble in Little China is just wonderful.
I was gonna say though, I can't believe how well though you guys remember actors and what movies they're in and everything. And
He was also in Blade Runner, another of my all-time favorites.
Yep.
And he was in Chinatown, and of course, you know how I feel about Chinatown. It's
Yep.
either the top one or the top two, depending on the day, but never below two.
Never Below Two.
No.
And Jeff Goldblum was in Earth Girls Are Easy.
Yes, he was.
Another great movie.
Yes.
I think underrated movie.
And he was also in The Fly, which is
That is a very
that's
creepy one.
amazing.
Ooh.
Who was the director of that?
I don't remember.
Was it
Cronenberg?
Cronenberg? Yeah.
Cronenberg?
And as I said, and this is too late to do it one day, but we have to do a show on Cronenberg.
Okay. He's done some really good stuff.
His
Disturbing stuff.
body of work is
Disturbing
amazing.
Oh,
Well, it's creepy and it's
weird.
twisted and it's even kind of perverted.
Yes.
But I have to
Terrible.
confess a guilty love for Cronenberg.
I haven't watched this movie in a very long time, probably since it came out. And how is it? Like, if you watched it recently in the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 years? or
20
so?
years.
Which
For
one
us,
now?
for
The
us,
Fly.
what's recent?
Oh, The
Yeah,
Fly?
The Fly.
Oh,
Like in the last 5 years?
Oh,
Because
no,
what
I haven't seen it since it came out.
Yeah,
I've
same
seen
here.
it probably within the last 5 years.
Really?
And
And-
Gina Davis is in that.
And
Yeah.
how is it because of
Oh.
special effects?
It's
and
great.
everything?
It's
It is, yeah.
great.
No, I
Yes.
think part of it is
Yes.
the acting too.
Oh,
Mhm.
and
you
the philosophical question. There is this one scene where
What
Jeff
is it that
Goldblum
makes a
says,
fly?
he says, I don't know if I'm, myself or if I'm now the fly. I mean,
Yeah.
he's, the metamorphosis is not just physical.
And what is the classic line from that movie?
I don't know.
When it's, I remember, and maybe just from me, I don't know, but when when she sees him and she says, "You're getting worse."
Yeah.
And his response, "I'm not getting worse, I'm getting better."
Yeah.
I'm like,
I just remember he puked on that guy's arm and it just dissolved his arm.
it. Yeah, I know.
No.
But the ending is so poignant.
Yeah.
It really is. Because he wants to be killed.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Swat.
No, man, he's too big.
Wasn't that the original where he was caught in the web?
Yes.
And his
Yeah,
spider-
yeah.
Help
That's a great movie. We need to do a Cronenberg segment. Yeah, because Cronenberg really gets it.
And The Fly. I need to watch that. I need to show the kids. That's what I need to
Oh,
show the
jeez.
kids. Wow. Oh, no. That's, here we go, guys.
Yeah,
Here's
what makes us human and what
Start a
makes
therapy
us
fund now.
Yeah, well, not young. I mean, they're, 14, 15, 16.
Oh, it's time.
So,
It's
yeah,
time.
they
Yeah.
need to see The Fly.
Yeah,
I think, that's,
Brundle fly. Remember that?
oh,
Brundle, yeah, his name was Brundle.
Mhm.
Yeah.
wow. Yeah.
Yeah, like just stopping and pondering the fly right now.
That was a one and done for me. I'm not watching that again.
Yeah.
And I don't remember The Fly 2.
Oh, I don't know. That's probably forgettable. I don't even know.
Yeah, sequels
Some sequels.
often are
Yeah.
not worth your time. Sometimes they are.
Well, even
Oh,
of
yeah.
Chinatown, there were the two Jakes. That was a sequel, and that was actually pretty good.
And I remember this now because when I looked at the actors, Eric Stoltz. Remember
Yes,
Eric Stoltz?
was
The
amazing.
Fly 2.
Yes.
Huh. I don't think, the movie, I don't
Yeah.
think it was.
Didn't he play in Mask? He played in Mask with Cher.
Yeah, it was
I think that was
Yeah.
Eric Stoltz?
Yeah,
I think
believe
so.
it was. And he
Couldn't
was,
tell with the makeup.
Yeah, but that was a wonderful movie as well. With
Prophecy.
Sam.
The Prophecy.
What?
Eric Stoltz,
Oh, yeah,
Christopher
yeah. Oh,
Walken
yeah.
as
Yeah.
Gabriel, the angel Gabriel.
Yes, you're right.
Christopher
Oh, I never
Walken
thought of
was-
that
wow,
one.
that was a great
Love
movie.
Christopher Walken.
Yep.
Yes,
Mm.
yes.
The Mask, yeah, Cher, Sam Elliott,
Yeah,
Eric
Sam
Stoltz,
Elliott, right.
and Laura
Eric Stoltz.
Dern.
And Laura Dern, yeah. Yeah, that's a great movie also.
Mm-hmm.
The true story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Boy, so many.
Yeah.
So many great movies.
So
Well, there
many,
are.
and they
And
need to
there-
be shown in the theater again. Hello,
I
everybody
know.
needs to get active.
Yes, that's
Beg
right.
for our theater again.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something like 3,000, well, in a typical year, something like 3,000 feature-length movies made in the United States. And although we try, we can't see them all. And lots of them are just rubbish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That is true.
And
But-
they,
well,
they go to Mystery Science 3000.
I saw one the other night. I'm trying to work my way through the Jesse Eisenberg collection and
Yeah.
watch everything that he's made, and I'm getting close. But he made one just last year with Imogen Poots, who I just love, and of course I love Eisenberg as well, called Valerian, and it's a kind of a sci-fi horror flick. It's about a couple that goes to look at a home in a vast housing estate, and all the houses are identical, and they get trapped in there.
Hmm.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and it's awful. It's just it's hour and a half of watching them sitting around being frustrated and bored because they can't get away.
I thought about watching that, and it
It-
doesn't
it's-
sound.
It it had great possibilities, but it wasn't written well, and there's nothing exciting happens in it until about the last 10 minutes, and then it's cool because this guy grabs a hold of the curb in front of their house and lifts it up like a blanket,
Oh,
and then slithers
Yeah.
down the chute.
Cool.
So that's pretty fun. And then
Yeah.
you get into all kinds of like time warp stuff and stuff, but it's only for a couple of minutes and then it's gone.
Huh.
so we were going to talk about Jeff Bridges, but we didn't.
We like him.
But we like him, and please get a newspaper and read Andy's review because
Yes,
it's very, very good.
And so next
Yeah.
Friday, when Jeff Bridges.
Yeah, we could do Jeff Bridges next
There
Friday.
you
go. We could.
Yeah.
Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges
Uh,
and Davy Cronenberg.
Oh.
I don't know if they've ever worked together. I don't think so.
But
Yeah.
Cronenberg has made a lot of
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah.
Something I was looking at, movie releases, and this is interesting, and maybe you saw this or felt this, but movie releases, and this is US and Canada in 2018, 878 movie releases in 2018, and then it dropped down to 786, almost 100 fewer movies released in 2019. But it said that the revenue was similar. It was about the same between 2018 and 2019 as far as box office. But and it's interesting to see the movies climb. So from 2000,
Mhm.
where 371 movies up to 2018, where over 800 movies, 870. So just the popularity of movies increasing over the last 20 years, 19 years.
Yeah, Craig, do you think I'm right if I'm saying that in the modern era, in the last few years, a lot of the worldwide box office has been soaked up by maybe a half a dozen movies in a given year?
Oh, sure.
Mm.
Yeah, I think that'd be fair. Yeah,
Like
well,
big
especially.
blockbuster things, yeah.
Well, the Avengers has been kicking
Right.
out movies, as they were running through that series, and those were all,
Right.
close to 2 billion.
That's just amazing to me.
Yeah, the Fast and Furious franchise is
Right.
another one that just $1.5 billion.
Mhm.
Star Wars?
Star Wars, yeah. No, I think that's, yeah, and well, that's what we say. Most movies aren't very good. And 800. I think these numbers 800 are probably theatrical releases.
Mm-hmm.
Not-
Maybe that
not
actually,
direct.
that actually hit the movie screens, and
Gotcha.
most of those make 10, 20 million.
Yeah.
And then there's
Well,
a
this
few that are.
This one I mentioned, Valerian with Imogen Poots, made 125,000 in theatrical release. So that's not much.
Ooh.
Oh, no.
And most of that was in
That's-
Belgium, I think.
That's a hiccup.
Belgium.
Belgium.
Oh, wow. Where, but hey, where you can go to the theater, and I still remember you get a beer and your popcorn, but it's like kettle corn, where it's
Oh,
sweet.
that's
Oh.
So I was expecting, you sit down or you get it, and you're like, oh, beer, we can get a beer in the theater. That's so
Yay.
cool.
Wow.
Our beer, we, take a sip, and then it's like dig into the popcorn, and you're expecting that nice buttery popcorn, and it's
What's this?
sweet. It's sweet.
Cracker Jacks.
Yeah.
Cracker Jacks.
And so that didn't go well. But hey, well, it is that time. So guys,
And actually, they're changing the name of Cracker Jacks to European American Jacks.
European American. Oh man.
So many bad jokes,
And there's
so
still,
little
there's
time.
still a prize in every one though. There you go.